Tiger, tiger, burning bright, in the forest of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? Hello, I'm Alex from Second Look at Cinema, and you may be wondering, what does that poem excerpt have to do with this video? Well, if you saw the title of this video, you probably already know. Today, I'm going to be taking a look at possibly one of the worst episodes of Doctor Who in recent years, The Forest of the Night. And, just be warned, spoilers ahead, even though it won't ruin much. Well, knowing the director can't properly focus a shot is definitely a good start for this episode.
I'm lost. Please, can you help me?
It's that way.
I think that might actually be the best part of the episode.
Oh, also, Peter Capaldi has a bunch of holes in his shirt, and I have no idea why. So this little girl tells the doctor that there was a voice in her head telling her to find the doctor. And the doctor's TARDIS GPS is telling him that he's in the middle of London.
You have reached your destination.
No, we haven't. We are in the middle of a forest.
And the doctor is saying he's in the middle of a forest, even though there are plenty of foresty type areas in London, parks and stuff, so the two aren't exactly mutually exclusive. Anyways, the doctor and the nameless girl go outside, and we pan out to reveal the whole of London is overgrown. So we cut away from the doctor and girl to find that Danny and Clara, who I may remind you are English and math teachers, have taken their classes on an overnight field trip to the Museum of Natural History. Yeah, that's about as stupid as it sounds.
This ring, though. All the other rings are thin, but this one's fat and red. See?
Must have been a good year to be a tree.
This is what happens when you make an English teacher the chaperone on a trip to a science museum.
Anyways, they leave the Museum of Natural History to discover that a forest has taken over London. And then, the world!
Of course!
So, Clara calls the doctor to tell him about the planetary forest, only for the doctor to tell her that one of her students is missing. Wow, Coal Hill must be a really terrible school, sending English and math teachers to science museums who don't even care about how many children they need to look after. So after the Clara and Danny romantic subplot, they take the kids to the TARDIS to pick up the girl, Maeve, because the doctor is just lazy, I guess. And more romantic subplot ensues. So the government is planning to burn down the trees when logging machines and saws would be safer. Also, speaking of fires, I hope none of those trees came up, I don't know, in one of those California forest fires we're stuck in, because if so, the earth would just completely turn into Mustafar. So after a bunch of filler and a misunderstanding of tree rings, the Ice Age, and word salad about how trees are time machines,
all night.
Exactly what they said about the Ice Age. How can whole glaciers just pop up out of nowhere?
There's some comic relief with the kids in the TARDIS, and we find out that Maeve has disappeared again, proving once and for all that Clara and Danny are terrible at their jobs. And the doctor gives a speech about how we shouldn't medicate the mentally ill. Good job, episode. Good job. You know what, at this pace, I am never going to finish with this episode, so there's some filler with Wolves, Tiger, and the TF2 Pyro. We find out that Maeve is a psychic who predicted the solar flare because she can communicate with tree spirits who made the trees appear to protect Earth from the solar flare. Because fire needs oxygen to burn, the trees would delete the oxygen. That way, the giant wave of not fire, but electromagnetic nuclear radiation should not affect Earth because the writer is scientifically illiterate. And then the trees just nope out of there once the solar flare hits. And the tree spirits return Maeve's sister, because, it was magic or whatever. Stop asking questions.
So, I didn't like the episode. I'd give it a 2 out of 10. And if you think I'm being too generous, the IMDb score gave it a 6.3 out of 10. So, yeah. So what would make the episode better? Well, for start, delete the whole thing, start from scratch. And this is what I would change to make my own, hopefully better version of The Forest of the Night. First thing I'd change is the time of day it takes place in. I would set it at night instead of in the day. The episode is called Forest of the Night, not Forest of the Day. Second thing I'd change is I would delete the overnight forest, the solar flare, Maeve's psychic abilities, and the tree spirits. I'd change it so that it is Danny and Clara taking the kids on a camping trip for winning some kind of school competition or something. That way we don't have the problem of why are math and English teachers taking the kids to a science museum. Third thing I would change is I would make it a Vasta Narada story. I know that in this season we had the Boneless, and they're basically just knockoff Vasta Narada, but they're my favorite monster. I'm putting them in. Let's face it, the Vasta Narada really fit the name Forest of the Night. So, this is my summary of my hopefully good version of Forest of the Night. So, it's a camping trip. There's a campfire. You got all the stuff like that. The kids are making s'mores. Some kid is talking to Clara about how she keeps randomly finding animal skeletons. And some kid leaves to go to the bathroom, but they hear a scream. Danny goes to check on him, only to find that there is a skeleton wearing the kid's clothes. Doctor Who theme. So, after the theme, we return to Clara and Danny panicking about how one of the kids is dead and they're gonna get fired for being terrible at their job. Anyways, they tell the kids that their friend is dead, and the kids are freaking out like, oh my god, did animals eat him? Are we gonna die too? And one of the kids runs out of the campfire light and gets eaten by the Vasta Narada. While everyone is freaking out, Clara sneaks off to call the doctor and ask for his help. He tells Clara to keep everyone out of the shadows until he arrives. When Clara comes back, she tries to calm everybody down, tells them that help is coming, and Danny rightly assumes that she called the doctor. Now, in this point in their romantic subplot of the season, Clara was lying to Danny about how she was not traveling with the doctor anymore. And in the original Forest of the Night episode, that was when her lie was found out. So in this version of the episode, I'm still maintaining the arc where Danny finds out Clara's lying, and I'm still making it a better episode. So once the argument between Clara and Danny becomes unbearable, the doctor walks in and is like, oh hey, my TARDIS is that way. I can get everyone to safety. And when one of the kids starts walking towards it, the doctor stops him and throws a piece of meat into the shadows, only for it to get devoured, revealing that they are completely surrounded by the Vasta Narada. Then the doctor goes on like some giant rant about how, oh, all I did was trap myself here. That's a terrible Scottish accent. And then he explains what the Vasta Narada are. The kids freak out, the doctor takes charge of the situation, and then he tells everyone to start setting up torches and stuff to expand the perimeter they can move in. But however, once everyone's done with that, the doctor finds out that one of the kids has 2 shadows. And the doctor tries to calm him down, but he eventually dies. And so, basically, the rest of the episode is the doctor trying to keep all the kids from getting themselves killed until the sun rises. So, what were your thoughts on The Forest of the Night? Was my version of it, at least on my brief summary, better? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'm Alex from Second Look at Cinema. And until next time, don't be lasagna.
Must have been a good year to be a tree.